What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that seems to have flown under the radar for a lot of Jurassic Park fans over the last few years. But the news broke about it way back when David Leitch was first announced as the original director for Jurassic World Rebirth. So according to the insider Jeff Snyder, there was a pretty big problem that went down after Jurassic World came out and became a mega hit, grossing $1.67 billion back in 2015. If the information we're about to go over today actually happened and this other movie got made, it would have changed the franchise in some pretty massive ways. We're talking about an alternate Jurassic Park 5, a sequel to Jurassic World by none of the people that made that movie. So just imagine a world where there was no Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Whether you like the film or not, that movie and everything that happened after it, including Jurassic World Dominion, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, Chaos Theory, and everything else was just completely gone because instead, Colin Trevorrow doesn't come back to make the sequel to Jurassic World and someone else goes ahead and releases a brand new film that went in a totally different direction. So what are the details in this alternate sequel to Jurassic World? Well, according to Jeff Snyder, Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment executives were extremely shocked and upset to find out that Legendary, the studio that helped produce Jurassic World, and Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, by the way, had allegedly massively overstepped in commissioning a script treatment for another Jurassic Park movie. The film in question would have followed up the last movie, but it's unclear if it would have been a mainline chapter or something more like a spin-off film. I guess comparatively we could compare it to maybe Rogue One or something, but whatever it was, the film was going to be following up Jurassic World with a very different kind of product than what I can imagine Colin Trevorrow, Derek Connolly, or anyone would have delivered in their own trilogy because they wouldn't have even been involved. There's no volcano that's gone off yet, no dinosaurs have been released on the mainland, and the last thing we saw would have been the T-Rex roaring on Isla Nublar after everyone was evacuated. I gotta say, it's a pretty interesting place to start a sequel. Legendary had helped finance Jurassic World, so they went ahead and started working on the next movie. Of course, this didn't sit well with the people that actually own the rights to the Jurassic Park franchise, and I guess they got really upset over Legendary even thinking they would have the audacity to do such a thing. But I can't help but wonder what it was that this film was even supposed to be. There's like literally no information that has been released to the public just yet on its plot. And the reason it's so interesting is because Jurassic World's sequel would most certainly have tried to carry on with what made that film successful. So you've got Owen and Claire at the very least, and maybe right after the park fell in 2015. What could they have even done? And look, it's before all the focus was on Blue as a somewhat friendlier velociraptor that we saw emphasized in the next couple of movies. So it all just leaves a bunch of wild possibilities in the air as to what direction Legendary Pictures would have produced their own sequel and how that could have gone. And keep in mind that this sequel was being fast-tracked while the unreleased Jurassic World tie-in video game was still in talks to possibly come out. I mean, we waited for that for years and it still got canceled. Everything around this time was honed in on an abandoned Isla Nublar where the dinosaurs had retaken the island, and the idea of a follow-up to the Indominus Rex was looming in the background of the loose ends that the 2015 movie were teasing for its own sequel. Could they have gotten Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard to come back with a team of engine guys to go over what was salvageable from the theme park? And where was the smaller Indominus creature supposed to be? What about Dr. Henry Wu? Would he have factored into this new product, or would Legendary have given us a brand new cast and made something more like Kong Skull Island or Rogue One? I mean, we really don't know. There's literally no information. What we do know is that Legendary commissioned a sequel for Jurassic World. Spielberg's company and everybody were like, get out of here, we're making that. In fact, how dare you? Now, I did find one article that included a comment where Legendary came into a meeting with Steven Spielberg after already ordering a new spinoff from Jurassic World. And to quote the article, Universal Amblin were like, what the... You're here to pay for these movies. You're not like we are. We make these movies. Legendary did not exist when Jurassic Park came out, which I think is a little funny, and I don't really know how much of that is accurate, like if this actually is what they said, like at a meeting, by the way. But needless to say, they were apparently super upset at Legendary even trying to make a sequel without their permission. So whether it was a spin-off or just a follow-up to Jurassic World, they let them know they own the rights to Jurassic Park, and now that Jurassic World had just become one of the biggest movies of all time, they were not gonna let anyone take control of the ship. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, guys, that during the summer of 2015, the only two movies that made more money than Jurassic World at that time in the history of films were Avatar and Titanic. Jurassic World really was a mega hit, like a gigantic hit, and it caused a lot of eyes to go back onto the Jurassic Park brand again for the first time in over a decade. I can just imagine what it was like sitting down in that room with like Steven Spielberg and Legendary coming in like, "Hello, Mr. Spielberg, we've got a script treatment for Jurassic Park 5, and the whole company being just cussing them out of the room. Like, I don't know if this is actually what went down, but this is the information that's, been released. So look, if Universal or Amblin, like, did they even read the script that Legendary had commissioned? Because it looks like they were so angry at someone even trying to do something like this that they threw down the gauntlet as soon as possible, which just makes me wonder, like, what kind of movie was this gonna be? What kind of alternate universe would it have set up if they made the sequel to Jurassic World instead of Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly? Like, what kind of plot do you go with after the end of Jurassic World? Do you go back to Site B? Do you start off with a smaller scale mission-based movie, or maybe do something with Owen and Claire involving a completely different follow-up to the 2015 film? Did they do that Trespasser 2 plot with Billy Brennan? I mean, I doubt that. But personally, I think it would have made enough sense to just have most of those characters from Jurassic World return immediately after the fall of the park, where like Masrani and Engine were just trying to collect as many of their own assets as possible for some kind of bailout for the company. Maybe like a movie focused on a group of people there to extract animals like in the Lost World Jurassic Park, but played up in a very different angle, locate missing assets, coordinate containment services, and work on relocating them to some other place, and even do a Uno reverse where Biosyn or somebody shows up and both companies go to war over the dinosaurs. It's just a random idea I have, by the way. We have no clue what this unmade movie would have been like, but I'm guessing it would have looked very different from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. In fact, even if they just stayed on the island for the whole movie and had the Indoraptor like already there and get loose on the island while it's been in containment on Nublar, it would have made for a very different sequel. I mean, it sounds an awful lot like Jurassic World Rebirth, actually. One thing I'm going to say, when it comes to this fallout, more than likely, this did impact the future of the Jurassic World trilogy in a big way, because Legendary actually did come back to help them produce Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But after that, they completely dipped out, and Jurassic World Dominion did not have any involvement from Legendary at all. So I'm guessing this whole situation might have been the start of something that led to their exit on the Jurassic World trilogy. And whatever the truth may be, there is an entire Jurassic World script treatment for a sequel that is out there somewhere with absolutely no input from Colin Trevorrow, Derek Connolly, or even Steven Spielberg, that was trying to get made, and they pitched it to the company like after the fourth movie was such a success, and yeah, they were like, hard no. I've got no idea who wrote it or what it looked like, but now that we're 10 years out from this happening, maybe we could see the script treatment sometime in the future. I would love to just see what it was like. I have a feeling it would have read like the Chaos Continues Super Nintendo game, but no evidence, man. We have nothing. We just know that an insider told us that this is something that went down. But hey guys, what do all of you think? What are your own thoughts and opinions on this information? How different would the Jurassic Park universe be if there was an alternate sequel to Jurassic World? I think we can all agree at the bare minimum, even if it was a spin-off, we would be looking at a very different trajectory for the brand. But hey, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.